Hi guys, it's Nancy here, and I'm back with another Halloween layout. Yes, I'm really still happy about scrapping Halloween in December. That's all good with me. I have taken 4 square photos. That one I'm putting down is quite a creepy picture because it's my niece's eye, Free the Pumpkin's eye. And this was from our sleepover that I was talking about in the last Halloween video. And this was the pumpkin carving that we done. I also done pumpkin carving at work with the kids, so to be honest, I was a little pumpkin carved out. I don't know what I mean. So yeah, but I really enjoyed doing this. I did snap a few little pictures of it, and so I've just made that little photo cluster. Oh, excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze. It's gone. I'm using the paper from the After Dark crate paper collection. It's from the 6x6 paper pad, and I really like all the little bits and pieces, so I decided that I'm going to try and use those up. That star paper is actually from Heidi Swap Christmas collection, and I had this offcut from making a couple of cards. There is some like vaguely tiny little Christmas words in those stars, but that's cool, you can't see them. I love this background paper with little ghosts and ghouls on and the little pumpkins or jack-o'-lanterns, so it's going to work perfect for this. And so I like it. If I'm going to go themey, I go themey. So I'm just adding some mist in the background here, and I'm taking out this wonderful stencil again from that Kat sent me, and I just love how it adds some texture. And I made a kind of mistake by kind of inking over the edge a bit, so I got a bit of a line, but I decided I quite like that effect, so I kind of done it on purpose in a few other places in the layout. It just kind of almost, yeah, just looks kind of a bit ghostly. So I was really going to do quite simple layering, simple background work, because I'm going to do quite a lot of layers on here, and I'm going to take all my embellishments and bits actually from the paper pad, and then again that little Halloween stash that I picked out. Again, just cut that 6x6 piece up so I can add it over 3 parts of the layout there. And again, it's just kind of spreading out that paper. I really liked the paper that oh! Sorry guys, I thought I was going to sneeze again. That's really bad. I really liked the background paper, and I wanted to kind of use all those bits on there. So again, I've got some offcuts there with which I mounted my photo in, which had the little place cards on that remind me very much of like Jelly Bean Soup. And who was the other person who used to do them? Jenny Bolan used to do them, I think, as well. So I've just cut up all these cards, which I think are in the cut apart sheets in the 12x12. So they would be 3x4 cards. And so I'm just going to cut those up to add to my clusters and just make lots of bits and pieces. There's also another piece which has lots of like words and letters and stuff on, and numbers. So I've cut out the one that says Fun Time, and I'm going to use that. Then I managed to cut out one of those cards that say Jack-o'-lantern, one that says Pumpkin. I said I'm just going through all these little bits and pieces and cutting out the little bits. So then I cut out the big October to go across the top. And I would say, you know, of course everyone knows Crate is more sort of a grungy, kind of like vintagey sort of paper. And I decided, you know, to really go with it on this. I do also have that My Mind's Eye paper pad, but that is heavily glittered. And that wasn't really going to work with my idea here. So I'm just going to ink everything up in black ink, again, just to help all those little individual elements stand out. And I did ink the other papers as well. And then it's just going to be a case of sticking down my layers. I'm going to add a little bit more of those skulls around the edge because they're going to get hidden by all those layers. And again, I'm just using this stencil in the same way that I would use any other stencil, even though it's actually an image. Yeah, and I think only if you kind of look closely maybe would you even realise that it's skulls, so I kind of like that. So now it's just a case of sticking everything down. I had a vague idea where everything was going to go, and now I'm just tucking in all the little different bits that say Halloween, 31 or 31st, and just doing all that. I'm going to play around with that sort of weird gap at the top there. And that's hanging over the edge there, but that's going to be fine because I am going to end up, mounting this as well, so that'll just stand out when I do that. Like I said, I really like this collection. And there's a lot of papers in here that you could get away with not using in Halloween one, which I think I probably will do some more layouts using these Halloween papers, but not so overtly themey. So I just like those colours. I love black. I love using black as like a matte or things like that, and I don't have much black cardstock, and I'm not a real big fan of cardstock actually. I'm really trying to get through my cardstock stash because I don't really use it, so I'm trying to get through that because I much prefer just mounting on pattern paper really. Again, I'm just cutting some more little bits out and tucking those in little spaces that I've got. I say some of them are not kind of pumpkin related, they're just Halloween related, so I'm just tucking little bits and pieces in. And so I want to use up as much of this paper as I possibly can because I know that if I leave it in my stash then it's not really going to get used. I end up covering up most of that star paper. There's like a couple of little bits that show, which is quite funny really seeming. I took the time to stick it down. I take one of those stickers out as well from the My Mind's Eye. That one's about bat wings. And then these are some little skull bits that people have sent me in various racks. And they're just kind of a little couple of skull stickers. I also have this trick or treat sort of, I think it's plastic more than resin piece. I'm going to stick up here, and again I'm just pulling out another one of those little buttons. Those wood buttons. And now I'm just trying to find a skull or something to fill that gap. And I have lots of different ones because I said they were cut out from different bits of paper, so I'm just trying to see if any of those will fit or work there. I'm also just going to stick a couple of little enamel dots down as well. Again, just to say, really just using up what I've got here. Again, I'm just going to end up covering that tiny little bit of the black you could see. I'm going to end up covering that up. So, excuse me. So it's just tucking bits in and kind of just pulling that layer down a little bit. I'm only going to do a little bit of journaling, and because the background is a light colour, I'm going to be able to just journal straight on that. And then I think I'm not going to add much more embellishment other than that button, because I did go a little bit layered crazy, but it's more kind of staggered layers, not all stacked on top of each other, which I quite like. So I'm going to use the My Mind's Eye Glittery Alpha that came in the collection pack, and my title is simply going to be Pumpkin Fun. Not the most original title, I know. And I'm just going to stick that down there. I do end up pulling out a little bit of that paper because I realised that I did like it and it needed some more black down there just to help ground everything. So I do end up popping that other bit down and then pulling out one of those dreaded actual pin badges and using my Tim Holtz scissors to pull that pin out the back so it actually sticks down flat. And so I'm then just going to use a little bit of 3D foam to stick that down. So it's such a bizarre pin, maybe it's just the easiest way they can make them. So I'm just going to put a little bit of 3D foam down and then just add that to that bottom cluster as well. So I hope everyone is kind of having fun doing their December daily scrapbooking and things like that. I will of course be sharing mine throughout the month, either in just share videos or process videos. But I'm quite cool scrapping Halloween stuff at the moment, or different things, so I really enjoyed that, and I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time to watch the video and any comments you leave, and I will speak to you all again very, very soon. Thanks guys, bye!